morning, everybody. My name is Alec Mulvey. I'm going to be presenting to you the most dangerous question in sales. Maybe. Alright, so a little bit about me. I'm a marketing and management major here at UNI, obviously in this class. Emphasizing in sales and organizational leadership. I'm from Plainfield, Iowa, which is a half an hour north of here, so I've lived around here my whole life. I'm a former vice president of PLSC. I was vice president, but things changed lately when I was making this presentation, but I decided to leave it on there. I'm currently employed at Fastenal, and I'm a huge Minnesota sports fanatic. I've got a picture here. Classmate Mitchell Beckman sits next to me, and Jesse Moe. Up at a Vikings game this last winter. It was a great time. So, what is the most dangerous question in sales? When I was thinking about this, I really had no idea. I thought about like commitment things, like going out and asking them, like getting that confirmation, like we have this relationship, because it's kind of an awkward topic. Or like pursuing more business, because like this isn't the service after the sale type of portion of this, so trying to get them to upgrade and things like that, just because it's kind of an uncomfortable topic. I asked some other people, some of my friends and stuff, and they gave me the I don't know, answer. So it's kind of like everybody doesn't really know what this most dangerous question is, so it should be interesting for most of you. Things to expect: that really annoying ass nasally voice guy that we hear in every single personal or quick take module. Why judgment questions are risky. So you're going to learn kind of about how to get the feedback you want, but not doing it through judgment questions. And also how to ask for the necessary feedback while building satisfaction. So we'll get this video going here.
Welcome to this quick take for sales professionals. Our topic today, the most dangerous question in sales. You can have a great product, dazzling service, the best pricing. But in the end, the only thing that matters is what your buyer thinks. And the only way to find out what they're thinking is to get feedback from your customer. The problem is, asking for feedback can be risky. In fact, if you ask the wrong way, you can actually leave customers less satisfied and undermine your relationship.
So now that you got that brief introduction, instead of listening to this annoying guy talk, we're going to take you into the real world here and kind of get some real sales examples through the use of Ed. So follow me. Meet Francis. Francis is a production engineer at Giant Industries. Meet Ed. Ed's no rookie. 6 months ago, he sold a major contract to Francis at Giant Industries.
We've been working with you for several months now. So tell me, Francis, how are we doing?
What Ed doesn't know is he just asked the most dangerous question in sales.
Well, I say you're doing okay.
We want to do better than okay. What will it take for us to be exceptional?
I don't know. Let's see. I guess you could be more responsive. At times it is hard to reach you.
Thank you for your honesty, Francis. I'm committed to respond to you by the end of the business day.
Ed gets back to the office. He lays down the law.
When Francis calls, track me down at once. Don't ever keep him waiting. Yes.
The service reps do exactly as Ed asks, and after a few weeks, Ed goes back to see how he's doing with Francis.
How are we doing now?
Okay.
Ed tries not to let his frustration show.
Oh, still just okay. You mentioned before that we could be more responsive, and we listened.
Yes, that's true.
So you're saying we should do more?
Well, now that you bring it up, I guess we've had problems with your liver all along.
Really? You never said anything.
Well, I guess it never brought my focus, really, I guess.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, getting that real world experience, getting some hands-on type of things here. So we'll get back to the nasally voice guy here for a little while, kind of see what Ed did wrong and how he can improve from there.
Here's the problem. When Ed asks Frances, how are we doing, he's forcing her to lock in her opinion. And he's asking at the worst possible time. Every relationship has its ups and downs. If you force your buyer to lock in an opinion on a down cycle, you'll have to work much harder to turn that opinion around later. The time to influence the buyer's opinion is before it's locked down. The truth is, Frances didn't really have a strong opinion one way or the other about the service she was getting, until Ed forced her to commit. Not only that, the way he asked the question almost guaranteed that Frances would find something to complain about. How are we doing? Sounds neutral, but it isn't. It sets up a competition between yourself and the customer's vision of the perfect vendor. You'll never win that competition. Nobody will ever tell you that you're too responsive, or your price is too low, or that you provide too much customer support. They'll start thinking of ways you're falling short. The good news is you can get the feedback you need and create opportunities to shape your customers' perceptions and increase satisfaction. Here's how. First, don't wait until the end of the semester to get your report card. Solicit feedback continuously in small bites. Continuous feedback allows you to make mid-course corrections, seamlessly aligning your sales efforts with your buyer's expectations and building satisfaction as you go along. For example, Frances, we just made our first shipment. Is it what you were expecting? Was the invoice clear? Did it have all the information you need? Second, ask for facts, not value judgments. When you ask, how are we doing? You're asking your customer to judge you, to decide whether you're good or bad. That misses the point. It's not about you. It's about whether the customer is getting what he or she needs. Value judgments are emotionally loaded. They put you on the defensive. If the buyer says you're doing a bad job, what can you say? You can either defend yourself, essentially telling the customer she's wrong, or you can apologize and promise to do better. Either way, you lose. Fact-based questions reduce the emotional risk and keep you focused on the customer's needs. For example, Frances, when we first spoke, you mentioned that one of your goals was to increase productivity. Are you seeing the productivity gains you expected? A fact-based question lets you offer a solution without being defensive or apologetic. If Frances says, well, we've seen some improvement, but not as much as I'd like, you can reply, let's set up a training session with your production staff. Finally, don't just focus on problems. Ask for feedback when you know it's going to be positive. That helps lock in satisfaction. If you know there are problems, don't ask how you're doing. Fix the problems first, and then ask for feedback. Frances, since we implemented the training, productivity increased 20%. Is that in line with your expectations? Even though Ed knows the answer, it's important to get Frances to say yes. It locks her in. Yes, we were aiming for 15%, so we're actually above goal. Keep these 3 principles in mind when you're asking for feedback. 1, ask as you go. Seek continuous feedback. 2, ask for facts, not judgments. And 3, ask when you know things are going well. Solicit positive feedback to lock in satisfaction. When you follow these 3 rules for customer feedback, you can shape your customers' attitudes and build up a series of high satisfaction moments. And then you can ask, how are we doing? Because you already know. Thanks for watching. Now return to the program page and take the quiz. Also, please take 15 seconds to click.
Well, I hope you guys all got, the same experience that I did there. Learned quite a bit. Some things that I feel like you should take away. Always remember what the most dangerous question is. Obviously, how are we doing? It's kind of a judgment type of thing, and that's something that you really want to stay away from. That's not something that they're thinking in their head right then, and you're making them kind of come up with brainstorm ways of how you're failing them. And why would you want that to be in your buyer's head, honestly? And also ask factual questions as you go. So, especially when you know the answer is positive. So you're kind of setting yourself up for success doing something like that. Pay attention, do your homework as you go, so that when you do ask these questions, you're well informed. You know what their answer is going to be, and make sure they remember that. That is a very positive thing that's going on. Positive feedback, lots and satisfaction. So with that, are there any questions? Trevor Goes, do you have a question for me? I know usually you try to get those participation points. If not, Moody, we can hit on you otherwise. That concludes my presentation. Thank Mitchell Beckman for helping me with the production of this video, as well as the dashing Joe Ermer. A little shout out to Marty. We had a lot of fun making this video. Hope you enjoy it too.